Welcome back to Roy on Rescue. If you've been following the sports news, you just heard about Lindsey Vonn actually taking a really serious tumble in the world over in Europe. And I wanted to take a moment to talk a little bit about what exactly probably happened and why she suffered the injuries she did. So stay tuned for more information on this terrible accident that put Lindsey Vonn out of the ski competition for at least 6 to 8 months. So she's going downhill at a rapid rate of speed. She comes over a mound, takes air, comes down into what appears to be fairly soft snow, and then wipes out. As you can see in the video, it looks as though her knee buckles under the soft snow, or what they call sugar snow, or crystallized snow. The ski gives way, she buckles her knee. I think that's probably where the tears began with the ligaments. We have this fantastic range of motion when it comes to bending a knee correctly, extending it and bringing it back, contracting it. Where we don't have a lot of flexibility in knees is when we go from side to side laterally. And that's one of the biggest problems with skiing, is that we have a lot of motion where we're going back and forth, but it's when we have the top, the femur, and then the fib underneath it, and we get this lateral movement back and forth that we run into some serious problems. So it sounds like she received a fracture of the lower leg, as well as 2 major torn ligaments in the knee. Now, the fact that she was traveling at such a high rate of speed and then going to be suffering from at least a minor concussion, if not a serious concussion, and as she's in surgery or as she's recuperating, you never know, they might actually discover more injuries. We call these distracting injuries when you have so much pain and so much problems in one given limb, like she does with her knee and the fracture. It can distract the person from other potentially serious injuries, internal neck injuries. She's going to be really sore for a long time, and they may even find more injuries. 6 to 8 months is conservative, I think. Of course, she is a professional. She's going to be having the best of the best rehabilitate her and get her back on track as fast as possible so she can compete in the Olympics. However, this is a really debilitating injury. The ligaments and tendons, as you and I both know, they are not real vascular as parts of the body. They're not like muscles. They don't regenerate well. These are going to be surgical repairs and a lot of rehabilitation, a lot of muscle strengthening, and a lot of pressure on those other ligaments and tendons that are not torn to be able to compensate for those that were. So the mechanism of injury here, if you were to respond to this as a rescuer, is that we're going to immobilize cervical spine or minimize movement of the spinal cord at all because of the mechanism of the tumbles at such a rate of speed. She's got skis partially on, skis partially off. She's got the potential for head injury. She has the potential for internal injuries from sheer tumbling motions. So all of these things are going to be taken into consideration. This would basically be equivalent to a person being ejected from a vehicle at a high rate of speed, and we're going to want to do a major secondary and primary survey, and then maybe even put them in for CAT scan, MRI, to see if there's any other injuries. Minimization of movement, stabilization of injuries like the knee, where we're going to brace it above and below before we move it, wrapping from the distal part of the limb towards the proximal and towards the body, and then we're going to immobilize that along with the other leg, and then we're going to backboard C-spine immobilize and extricate this person out of the situation. In this case, they made a great call. They airlifted the skier out of the mountain, got her straight into the hospital where she was able to be reviewed properly. So, huge crash. Here's some of the aspects of what happened. I hope it helps to clarify, maybe for those of you that were wondering, how did she hurt her knee so bad? How did she get hurt? Keep on, and maybe this will shed some light on it. From Roy on Rescue, bye-bye.